Forget what you've been told about world history. For centuries, we've learned a narrative that places Europe at the center of wealth and power. But what if I told you that for a huge chunk of human history, the richest people on Earth, the empires dripping with more gold than you could possibly imagine, were not in Europe, but in Africa? We're talking about fortunes so vast they broke economies just by visiting. You've probably heard of Mansa Musa, the legendary king of Mali, whose wealth was described as indescribable. But his story is just the tip of a colossal golden iceberg. Today, we're diving deep into the real stories of the African empires that were wealthier, more advanced, and more influential than their European counterparts. We're going to uncover the lost chapters of history, revealing a continent of kings, conquerors, and staggering riches. This is the story of Africa's golden age. Before we get to the legendary Mansa Musa, let's travel back even further to the ancient kingdom of Kush in what is now modern-day Sudan. While the pharaohs of Egypt get all the attention, their southern neighbors in Kush were building a powerhouse of their own. For centuries, they were Egypt's main source of gold, incense, and ivory. The Kushites weren't just trading partners, they were masters of their own destiny. They developed their own unique script, built over 200 pyramids, more than Egypt itself, and established a sprawling trade network that stretched across the Red Sea and deep into the African interior. Their capital, Meroe, was a bustling hub of iron production, so famous that it was known as the Birmingham of Africa. This wasn't just a kingdom, it was an industrial and commercial giant, whose wealth was forged in fire and built on a foundation of pure gold, long before many European nations even existed. Now let's journey west, to the heart of the Sahel, where the Ghana Empire rose to prominence around the 8th century. The name Ghana itself was the title of its ruler, meaning King of Gold. And for good reason. The empire sat on one of the most strategic trade crossroads in the world. From the north, camel caravans brought salt, a commodity so precious it was often traded for its weight in gold. From the south came the gold itself, mined from the rich fields of West Africa. The kings of Ghana controlled this trade with an iron fist, taxing every pound of salt coming in and every pound of gold going out. Imagine a capital city where even the dogs wore collars of gold, and the king held court adorned in so much gold that he shimmered in the sun. This wasn't myth. It was the reality of the Ghana Empire, a state so wealthy that its king could reportedly field an army of 200,000 soldiers, all paid for by the golden trade that flowed through his lands. When the Ghana Empire eventually declined, another, even greater power rose from its ashes, the Malian Empire. And at its helm was the man whose name is synonymous with unimaginable wealth, Mansa Musa. Ascending to the throne in the early 14th century, Musa controlled an empire that was the world's largest producer of gold. At a time when Europe was struggling with famine and conflict, Mali was a realm of stability, learning, and staggering prosperity. But it was Musa's legendary pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 that truly put his empire on the world map. His caravan was a city on the move, consisting of 60,000 people, including 12,000 servants, all dressed in the finest silks. Leading the way were 500 heralds, each carrying a staff of pure gold. And then there were the camels, over 80 of them, each laden with up to 300 pounds of gold dust. This wasn't just a pilgrimage, it was a statement. Mansa Musa's journey was so extravagant, it literally changed the economy of every city he visited. As he traveled through Cairo, he gave away so much gold, to the poor, to the merchants, to the local sultan, that he single-handedly caused the price of gold to plummet. It took the region's economy over a decade to recover from his generosity. Think about that for a moment. One man's spending was so immense it caused a multi-year financial crisis across the entire Mediterranean. European cartographers, hearing tales of this golden king, began drawing him on their maps. depicting a powerful black monarch holding a golden nugget. Mansa Musa didn't just put Mali on the map. He reshaped the world's perception of wealth and power, proving that the heart of global finance beat not in Paris or London, but in the golden city of Timbuktu. And Timbuktu was more than just a city of gold. It was a beacon of knowledge and culture. Under Mansa Musa and his successors, Timbuktu became one of the world's greatest centers of learning. The Sankore University attracted scholars, astronomers, and mathematicians from all over the Islamic world. The city boasted vast libraries filled with hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, covering subjects from law and medicine to poetry and science. While much of Europe was still in the Dark Ages, Timbuktu was a thriving intellectual hub where ideas were traded as freely as gold. This combination of immense wealth and profound intellectual curiosity created a civilization that was truly golden, both in its resources and in its spirit. The Mali Empire wasn't just rich in material terms. It was rich in culture, innovation, and human potential, a true Renaissance kingdom in the heart of Africa. As Mali's influence began to wane, a new, formidable empire rose to dominate West Africa, the Songhai Empire. Forged by brilliant military strategists like Sunni Ali and later expanded by the great Askia Muhammad, Songhai became one of the largest empires in African history. It absorbed the territories of Mali, including the crucial trade cities of Timbuktu and Jen, and took control of the Trans-Saharan trade routes. Under Askia the Great, the empire was not just a military force, but also a well-organized state. He standardized weights and measures, established a professional army and navy of canoes to patrol the Niger River, and appointed ministers for agriculture, finance, and justice. The wealth flowing into Songhai from its gold mines and salt trade was immense, financing a powerful state and a vibrant cultural life. Askia, like Mansa Musa before him, made a spectacular pilgrimage to Mecca, further cementing Songhai's reputation as a land of immense power and piety. Further south, in what is now Zimbabwe, another incredible civilization was thriving, centered around the magnificent stone city of Great Zimbabwe. From the 11th to the 15th centuries, this kingdom dominated the trade routes between the gold fields of the interior and the Swahili coast. The ruins of its capital city are a testament to its power, with massive stone walls built without any mortar, soaring up to 36 feet high. These weren't just defensive structures, they were symbols of prestige and authority. Archaeologists have unearthed artifacts from as far away as China and Persia within these walls, proving that Great Zimbabwe was a key player in a vast Indian Ocean trade network. It was a kingdom built on gold, ivory, and cattle, a sophisticated society with a clear social hierarchy and incredible architectural skill. Its wealth was so legendary that when Europeans first encountered the ruins, they refused to believe it could have been built by native Africans, inventing fantastical stories to explain its existence. And on the eastern coast of Africa, a unique and prosperous culture emerged, the Swahili Coast civilization. This wasn't a single empire, but a network of powerful city-states like Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar, connected by the sea and a shared language and culture. From around the 10th century onwards, these cities became the middlemen in the lucrative Indian Ocean trade. They traded African goods like gold, ivory, and timber for spices, silks, and porcelain from Arabia, India, and China. The city of Kilwa was so wealthy that the famous traveler Ibn Battuta described it as one of the most beautiful and well-constructed towns he had ever seen. Its rulers lived in lavish palaces, and its merchants were international power brokers. This coastal civilization was a vibrant melting pot of African, Arab, and Persian influences, creating a unique culture whose wealth and sophistication rivaled that of any trading port in the world. So what happened? If these African empires were so wealthy and powerful, why does the modern world often look so different? The story is complex, involving internal conflicts, shifting trade routes, and environmental changes. But the arrival of Europeans, initially as traders and later as colonizers, marked a devastating turning point. The transatlantic slave trade drained the continent of millions of its people, and the subsequent scramble for Africa saw European powers carve up the continent, plundering its resources and dismantling its traditional political and economic structures. The wealth that had built great cities and funded legendary universities was systematically extracted and funneled towards Europe, fueling its industrial revolution. The history of Africa's golden age was deliberately obscured, replaced by a narrative that justified colonial exploitation. But the story doesn't end there. The legacy of these great empires endures. It lives on in the music, art, and oral traditions of the continent. It's being rediscovered by a new generation of historians and archaeologists who are piecing together the true story of Africa's magnificent past. Understanding this history is not just about correcting the record. It's about recognizing that wealth, innovation, and civilization have never been the exclusive property of one continent or one people. The stories of Kush, Mali, Songhai, and Great Zimbabwe remind us of a time when the world's center of gravity was in Africa, and they offer a powerful vision of what the future could hold. The golden age of Africa was not a myth. It was real, and its echoes still resonate today. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into history as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden stories from our incredible world.